About 5 weeks ago, I decided to lean down to take some pictures for a new Strength Side book coming out at the end of the year. And over the last 5 weeks, I've lost about 6 pounds with relative ease. So I want to share the most practical tips that you could also use to get leaner. So I'm no bodybuilder or any type of physique athlete. I'm just someone who loves to train and enjoys being leaner from time to time. It can be quite challenging to go super dieting mode like a bodybuilder when you have a regular life. So number one is stay busy. I've been making these videos, writing a book, training every day, taking my dog for hikes, all while preparing to have a baby in the house. My point is, if you're bored sitting at home, one of the easiest things to do is excessively eat. If you do feel like you have a good amount of spare time, then fill it with exercise, projects, getting outdoors. These are all things that will help you stay more active and not snacking on cookies all day long. So number two, let's talk about eating. Most people, maybe not 100%, but most of us need to use some type of eating strategy to lose weight. We gotta consume a little less calories. There's a simple energy balance of calories consumed versus calories expended. We need to put ourselves in the negative or close to equal to lean out. So since this video is about me, I used intermittent fasting. This works really well for my lifestyle. I usually have a cup of coffee in the morning, and after doing some work and getting a training session in, I find myself at about 2 p.m. before getting hungry. If you skip out on eating for a good portion of the day, you'll generally just consume less calories that day. I like fasting because I don't have to be overly picky or carry around Tupperware with me everywhere. If I know I'm gonna have a big indulgent dinner, I can fast a little bit later that day. I also like fasting because it seems to be closer to how our primitive ancestors ate. Filled our bellies full and then went a while without eating again. To get started with fasting can be quite simple. You can simply wait a couple hours in the morning until you have your first meal. Over time, you can push those hours more and more. A good standard window of eating to shoot for is 8 hours. A lot of people like fasting until noon and then eating until 8 p.m. But I have used some different eating strategies in the past with success. The first time I ever got really lean, over 10 years ago, I counted calories. It worked really well. It's measurable and it keeps you very honest. The reason why I don't use it anymore is because my relationship to food started to get a little weird. Weighing my food, needing to know the macronutrient breakdown of every dish just didn't seem so natural to me. And plus, I want to spend less time on this guy rather than tracking everything that I eat. And last year, I used the paleo diet to get lean. But really, I'd more so just term this as eating clean. Cutting out sugar, carbs, processed food, this works really well and it makes you feel good too. In general, if you cut out crappy foods and have more limited options of high quality foods, you'll probably consume less calories. So all three of these can work well for different personality types or at different phases of your life. I'm curious to know, what type of eating are you drawn to? Leave a comment below and let me know. No matter which way of eating you choose, you'll probably run into some cravings. So number three, appetite suppressants are important. In my eyes, there's two big ones. Number one, caffeine. So let's be adults here. If you have 5 cups of coffee a day, you're gonna feel anxious and not sleep very well. But a well-timed caffeinated beverage can really help power you through the day without making errors on your diet. For me personally, it's usually 1 cup of strong coffee in the morning that allows me to get some work done and then get stuck inside a training session. Then I may do a cup of green tea or a lightly caffeinated beverage around noon. Caffeine's tricky. It can help a ton, but it can easily go too far and leave you feeling crappy. But of course, the healthier appetite suppressant is exercise. Simply getting your heart rate up makes your blood flow to your muscles and makes the hunger fade away. So for me, I usually have one longer training session for the day that may last 1 to 2 hours. But in the evening, I may take my dog for a hike, ride my bike to the store, I jump rope, do some rope flow, or any other low intensity exercise. This keeps me active, satisfied, and my mind off food. Number 4 is use willpower to change a habit. Willpower is tricky because it's limited. Here's the deal. The first couple weeks are hard because you're changing a pattern. When I first started fasting 5 weeks ago, it was tough. I got a lot of cravings. But once I got about 2 weeks in, my body was used to it. It didn't take as much willpower anymore because it was becoming a habit. You can't completely rely on willpower because some days you'll just be exhausted and have none of it. But you need it to start. So make sure to start on a week that's not crazy, when you feel like you have the time and energy to commit to this new lifestyle. Set yourself up for success those first couple weeks by planning ahead and preparing for it to be tough. If you're trying to break the habit of eating ice cream or some chocolate after dinner, then have some nice sweet fruit ready to go. If you want to fast until 2 p.m. and you know you're going to get really hungry at 12, then have some tasks for your mind to focus on or some light exercise to block that hunger away. Know that you will need to use some willpower. Just know that your body will eventually adjust and you'll need less of it. For me, I tend to get into different modes. I'll be in the mode where if there's cookies around, I'll definitely eat a few. But I can switch modes to where I'm off sugar and I can easily say no to cookies. But it's that transition from being on sugar to off sugar that can really get uncomfortable for a few days. Your body and your mind are so used to just saying, yes, let's do it. And you have to find some willpower to say no. But once I get a few days or a week into saying no, it's easy. It just becomes my new standard and it doesn't take much willpower. If you understand your tendencies and how you can manipulate them, then it's easier to be more intentional with what you're doing. So number 5 is activity level. And this has always been my go-to for getting leaner. Restricting my diet, that's tougher for me, but going out and doing more things, that's a bit easier. My theory is to use a variety of movement. Strength training is always a staple in my routine no matter what. It's well documented that strength training promotes more lean muscle mass and increases your metabolism. Everyone's mind always jumps to cardio when it comes to fat loss, but strength training is probably more effective when combined with proper nutrition. So I do 3 strength sessions a week. I think you'll be good as long as you hit 2. It can be short and simple or more complex. Calisthenics, barbells, kettlebells, dumbbells, whatever you prefer. When I switch into get lean mode, I like to increase my low intensity activity. During these past 5 weeks, I've done at least 1 walk a day, usually from 30 to 60 minutes. This is low hanging fruit to increase your activity level without doing a lot of fatigue to the body. Some people immediately jump into HIIT workouts and boot camps for fat loss and end up crushing their body to the point where it just isn't sustainable. You'll feel tired, fatigued, and sore. We want easy lifestyle habits that can slowly pull that fat off you without causing a bunch of fatigue. Walks, cycling, even stretching routines, or just being on your feet more can help a ton. And I have this last zone of exercise that I term conditioning. And this generally gets my heart rate up higher. This past 5 weeks, my go-tos in this range have been jump rope, 1 minute on, 1 minute off, light jog for maybe about 20 minutes. And here, I'll do more playful exercise like crawling and animal movements. These use your muscles, but not in a max effort type way. You'll get your heart rate up, you'll probably sweat, but it won't drain you so much for tomorrow's workout. So those are the main 5 tips. These next 3, just some quick hitters that everyone should do just to be more healthy. Drink more water. This will help fill your belly and also just hydrate you. And to take it a step further, adding electrolytes to your water can help replenish your minerals. That's why I take a pack of Element electrolytes every day. With Element, you get the sodium, potassium, and magnesium without sugar and extra additives. And a further benefit, Element tastes so good that it's easy to keep sipping your water, which once again helps you keep full and not dependent on constant snack food. If you like to fast like I do, Element can be key to keeping your energy levels up while in that no food phase. Right now, Element is giving the Strengthside audience a free sample pack along with any order of electrolytes. They also give free refunds if you're not satisfied, so trying it out is risk-free. Support Strengthside and Element by hitting that link in the description. Back to the video. Sleep. It's so much easier to make good decisions on a full night's rest. Get sunlight. Usually people that live in sunny beach towns are more fit. There's probably something to do with vitamin D and hormones, but really, sun is just motivating to get outside and be more active. and a little tan always does wonders to lean you out. So fat loss is always a very popular topic and extremely controversial. Some people say you have to count calories, some are against it. Some say yes cardio, some say no. But that's all just noise. You gotta find what works well for your lifestyle, something that you can stick to, and just do it. Check out our 90-day program, Move Strong Now. If you're interested in something that combines strength, mobility, and animal movements, if you combine this with some fasting or some eating clean, you're gonna be looking good. Let me know what you think of these tips, and if you have any to add, then please join the conversation below. Like this video, subscribe to StrengthSide. See you in the next one, as always.